How the heck does ECA do all of this? So next I want to invite Judy Huang up to share with us. Judy is the Chief Operating Officer of Excelsior Christian Academy and the Secretary of Excelsior Ministry. She has worked as a tutor for many years and is partnering with ECA to see each children discover their God-given gifts and talents.
Hi, thank you for coming. So my name is Judy, as you can see here, and my job today is I get to kind of explain to you just how it is our school actually works. So basically, as you've all heard, what we really want to do is we want to be the bridge, and we want to help you guys build community. And so what I've seen a lot happening is because I've worked as a tutor for many years, and especially I had the opportunity of working in some Christian after-school programs. And I got to see firsthand that a lot of Christian kids in this generation, they want God. And in fact, as human beings, we're really designed to want God. But the problem is because there's so much opposition in this world nowadays, and there's really an information overload, that they really have to make sense of so much things. And what we want to do is come alongside them and guide them through that, so that it's not becoming, it's become kind of like three very separate spheres of influences. You either have a kid who has to learn to behave three different ways, one in church, one in family, one in school, or you have some kids who will gravitate towards one and throw out the other. And that's not what we want to do. We really want to answer their questions, be with them, and guide them through that. And so what we want to do is we want to put a school in your church. And so we want to build up your church, your community, your family, your kids. And so by coming into your church, what we want to do is bring in our academic support. Because I know homeschooling is great. I mean, that's my mom there. I was homeschooled. And I know some of the issues are like, oh, they might be socially awkward. Being a little socially awkward is not the end of the world. The problem is we're very isolated. And a lot of times we feel really cut off from the rest of the world. And so what we want to do is we want to bring community. We want to build that. I know some parents are not able to homeschool their kids because either they have work to do or maybe they're worried about their own education level. And so we want to just be that support. And so what we want to do is, because we want to come to your church and help you guys build your school, all you have to do as a church is provide location and Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, because a lot of our courses are going to be online. Actually, most of our courses are mainly online. And our location, when I say location, that also includes, classroom, bathrooms, you're going to pay the electricity bill, water bill. Of course, there are those expenses involved. But now you as a church get the opportunity to live alongside your kids, show them that you care on the other days of the week as well, and really do life with them. And what parents get to do is you guys get to be involved. So you guys take turns facilitating the kids. You guys don't have to worry too much about the education, academic stuff, because that's what we want to do, is we want to provide that academic support. And also, if you have, you get a bunch of like-minded parents together, you get community, you have feedback, and we would love to hear your feedback. We get to just build each other up, strengthen each other, and encourage each other, especially in this day and age. That's what we want to do, is to build your community. And when I say here, do what you do best, is you guys as parents get the opportunity to pour out into these kids as well. So let's say, for example, you just love fixing cars. Well, let's build that into the, let's put that into the schedule. Let's have a day where this Mr. So-and-so is going to teach us how to fix cars. Or maybe you just love baking. Okay, let's put that in. Let's put that into the schedule. Because really a lot of the basic, practical life skills is really not learned in school. I mean, I don't know how many of us had to graduate from college and call mom and be like, Mom, how do I file a tax return? How do I, there's so many little practical things that we really can learn from our parents through their life skills that we can't learn in school. And so what we want to do is really bring all of that in together. And so what we will provide is customizable courses, access to teachers over the internet for days that we are not there. It's really cool. You can actually just message your teachers right online. The system is really cool. Itinerant teachers, so our teacher team, what we want to do is, because we're going to have these different church sites, we can go visit these sites on certain days, on regular days on a schedule, so that any questions that your kids might have, if you really need that one-on-one help, that's what we want to provide with real life teachers. And also quality control. I know a lot of homeschoolers have this issue as well. Sometimes you have to go take a GED or something because you don't have all the report cards and the documentation. But through us as a school, you will have all of that. and also community. So we no longer have to be the socially awkward, isolated homeschoolers. And why we want to do customizable courses is because we truly believe that every single human being has a purpose and gifts and talents given by God. So we want you to discover where your gift and talent is. We want the kids to discover where their passion is. And I think the thing with normal public schools is that if you're in 4th grade, you're in 4th grade. You're in 5th grade, you're in 5th grade. But I've got to work with some kids like in one grade level. There's so many differences. And so if you have a point that you're really just excelling at, we can give you the opportunity to excel in that, because we can customize your courses. So if you're in 3rd grade and you want to do 4th, 5th grade math, let's do that. Let's give these kids that sense of accomplishment, that they have something that they're really, really good at. And that also allows us to pinpoint some of their weak spots. And as students, we all have weak spots. Then we can really focus on those and encourage them and help them to understand that doesn't define you. That's just something that we need to work on. Let's link arms and work on this together. And also just kind of like Pastor Briscoe there was kind of talking about how we want to also be able to compete in the business world, that thinking outside the box, of taking responsibility for your own life and doing what you're passionate of, creating your own job, that entrepreneurial mindset really helps with the whole customizable courses, finding what your passion is. And we want to help come alongside your kids and lead them, guide them to be equipped for a purpose, for their God-given purpose in life. And so here's the practical stuff here. The application fee is $100, and that's because it includes the enrollment, the placement testing. Because of our customizable courses, we will have to test them before school starts, and that helps us to be able to start designing the personalized curriculum. The tuition is $2,800 for the entire school year, and that's one-time payment. If you want to split that up into 12 months, then it's $250 a month. And then also any subsequent siblings will be receiving a 10% discount. And what that includes is that's going to be the liability insurance fee, personalized courses, biblically based curriculum, our teachers, because we want to also visit and help with these sites, and also a laptop. So we will be providing a laptop for every student as well. And so when you guys came in your brochure is a little response sheet, and that helps us to be able to contact you. So if you guys have time right now, if you see the top, it says, if I'm a parent and I'm interested, go ahead and check that box, leave your info. I'm a teacher, I'm interested, check that box. And those next two boxes is if you're a donor, because we understand tuition is a big deal. I mean, we like tuition can be tough. And so what we want to do is we really want to start building like foundations, scholarships for kids who are in need, and because we really want this to be available for anyone and everyone. And also because, like we were also mentioning before, we do want to start building our own campus, and eventually, you can also start donating towards that as well. And the bottom part is for pastors. I don't know if any of you guys are pastors here today, but if you are, pastor, or your pastors might be interested, leave us your information. And that second box there, the last box there, is if you would like us to go to your church and present to, help you guys have more, some more details, so you guys can, make a decision as staff. And so that's it. That is the logistics of it. And also, so from now, we basically have time. I know that's a lot of information in like 10 minutes, so just feel free to ask questions, and we would love to answer like the details of everything.
So what we like to do right now is actually give you guys an opportunity to ask the panel some of the questions. And if I could actually have the panelists, if you guys can come back up, Dr. Ken and also Pastor Ruth Ann. And in addition to that, so if you have a question, go ahead, just raise your hand and they'll call you. You could address to any of them or each person specifically. And if you are speaking a little bit on the quieter side, I can go ahead and hand you the microphone for that. Okay?